All right, let's talk about something we all do. Aimless scrolling. You know, that weird time warp that happens when you're staring at your phone? Today, we're going to break down the psychology of what's really going on. Seriously, have you ever had that moment? You know you should be doing something else, you even want to do something else, but your thumb just keeps going? It feels impossible to stop. So what's the deal with that? It's the classic story, right? I'll just check one thing, and then poof, an hour of your life is just gone. But here's the thing. This isn't some personal failure of willpower. Nope, it's actually a very complex psychological trap, and we're about to play detective and figure out exactly how it works. So for our first clue, we're gonna look inside your own head, because the main culprit here, the one running the show from behind the scenes, is a really powerful chemical in your brain. And that chemical is dopamine. Now, you've probably heard it called the pleasure molecule, but that's not quite the whole story. It's really more about anticipation. It's that little voice in your brain that says, ooh, do that again, something awesome might happen. And that little difference is absolutely key. So, how do these apps get their hooks into that dopamine system? Well, they use a trick that casinos figured out a long time ago. They basically turn your social media feed into a pocket-sized slot machine. And here is where the magic, or maybe the manipulation, really happens. It's all about variable rewards. Think about it. A predictable reward, like your paycheck, is great, but you know it's coming, it's stable. But a variable reward, that's where the addiction lies. The next post you see could be boring, or it could be a hilarious meme, a message from an old friend, a piece of amazing news. It's the maybe. The maybe is what keeps you pulling that lever over and over again. And this creates something called a compulsion loop. It's super simple, but incredibly powerful. It starts with a cue. You feel a little bored or your phone buzzes. The action, you open the app and scroll. Then, bam, you get a variable reward, a funny video, and your brain gets a little hit of dopamine. That feels good, so your brain immediately goes, yes, let's do that again. And just like that, you're stuck in the loop. Okay, so that's the brain chemistry part of the puzzle. But it's not the whole story. For our second clue, we need to look at how our mind is basically on autopilot a lot of the time, using mental shortcuts to get through the day. You know, your brain is dealing with a ridiculous amount of information all the time. To make things easier, it creates these little shortcuts, biases, to make decisions faster. And most of the time, they're super helpful, but they can also be hijacked. And when it comes to scrolling, there are three big ones at play. You've got FOMO, the fear of missing out, that nagging feeling that if you log off, you'll miss something huge. Then there's social proof. If a post has 1 million likes, your brain automatically thinks, whoa, this must be important. And of course, confirmation bias, which keeps you digging for stuff that proves you're right, which feels really good. Each one is just another tiny hook keeping you there. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important clue. None of this is an accident. The digital world you're scrolling through has been carefully, meticulously engineered to take advantage of all these things we've been talking about. I mean, just think about a book. You get to the bottom of the page and it's a natural moment to pause, right? A magazine article ends. Well, infinite scroll gets rid of that completely. There is no bottom. There is no end. There is never a natural stopping point to make you look up. And here we are again, right back at that slot machine. That little pull to refresh gesture, it is the exact digital version of pulling the lever on a slot machine. It's a physical action that you take, which just reinforces that whole cycle of anticipation and reward. And the list just keeps going. Those angry little red notification dots create a sense of urgency. Autoplay videos just start yelling for your attention. The For You pages are perfectly designed to give you exactly what you want to see next. And that little someone is typing bubble, it literally makes you wait, building anticipation for the reward. Every little piece is designed to be a hook. So we've gathered all our clues. We've looked at your brain's chemistry, your mind's shortcuts, and the tech itself. Now it's time to put it all together and see what's really going on. So, what's the big reveal? It's not just one thing. It's a perfect storm. Your brain's chemistry is the engine, always searching for that next little reward. Your mind's shortcuts are the steering wheel, guiding you deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. And the app's design? The app's design has completely cut the brakes. It's an incredibly powerful combination that's almost impossible to resist. Look, just knowing all this stuff isn't a magic bullet, but it does change the game. It's the difference between being a passenger
getting taken for a ride, and actually knowing where the car is going. So the next time you feel yourself getting sucked into that scroll, you'll know exactly what's happening. The only question left is, what are you going to do about it?